Thank you, Arlen. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dr. Diane Nicholson. I'm the President and CEO of Amarc Resources Limited. To introduce you to Amarc, we are building the next generation of copper-gold discoveries in our home province of British Columbia, one of the world's most attractive jurisdictions for mining investment. Our focus is on large, long-life, high-value porphyry copper-gold deposits that are highly sought after by the producers. At Amarc, we put together a team with a proven track record of making exactly these kinds of discoveries. The team is accomplished in discovery, development, and transaction, and has done this multiple times, not only in British Columbia, but on the global stage. Today, we are actively advancing 3 expansive district-scale copper-gold assets. They are the Joy, the Duke, and the Ike, each of which hosts significant copper deposits. At Joy and Duke, we have strong strategic partners, Freeport-McMoRan and Boliden. Together, these partnerships bring up to $200 million in staged non-dilutive funding, which allows Amarc to aggressively advance exploration without share dilution. In 2024, our discovery of the Aurora deposit within our Joy district set a new benchmark in British Columbia. It is likely the highest grade gold-enriched porphyry discovered in the near-surface environment. The bottom line is that each of our districts provides multiple paths to value creation for our shareholders and transaction partners alike, whether through district-scale growth, deposit-level expansion, or corporate transaction. This is the usual cautionary and forward-looking statement information. Amarc, as I mentioned, has enjoyed success on the global stage, and this has mainly come through our affiliation with our parent company, Hunter Dickinson Inc., or HDI. This slide shows some of our BC-based successes, which are spearheaded by the 80,000 ton per day Gibraltar mines held by TSXV, which is Canada's second largest copper company. What this gives Amarc is a huge jurisdictional advantage, not just in a technical sense, but also in every sense which will lead today to successful transactions, be that engineering, tax, government relations, etc. I just want to take a moment on this slide because where we're going to concentrate this presentation today is on our Joy district and the Aurora discovery. So just to mention quickly both Duke and Ike. Duke is located, as you can see in the map on the right-hand side, in central British Columbia, and this is where Boliden is funding our exploration activities. By the end of this year, 2025, they will have invested $30 million into exploration efforts, and they will earn their first 60% interest in that district. The district is anchored on the Duke porphyry, copper, silver, moly deposit, and it is a couple of years behind in its exploration trajectory with Amarc than the Joy district. We also have the Ike district located in southern British Columbia, which is the heartland of copper production, not only in BC, but for the whole of Canada. And that district is anchored on our discovery. It is the large copper, moly, silver, porphyry discovery, and also the higher grade Empress copper gold deposits that we were out drilling last year. So just to give you an idea of our cash position, this slide is slightly outdated now. In our joint venture accounts, we have over 25 million being spent this year, and our corporate working capital is approximately 2.5 million. In terms of key shareholders, the Sutton Group is a single gentleman. He has been a long-term shareholder in Amarc and owns about 19% of the company, and 20% is owned by management, headed up by Bob Dickinson and myself. This is the team that I have the pleasure to head up every day. It's a highly accomplished technical team. Both Bob Dickinson and Mark Rabagliati, they will be names many of you will recognize, have been to the Mining Hall of Fame in Canada for their discovery and development successes, primarily in the copper gold space. The two Dr. Jims are two of the most highly thought of exploration geologists in Western Canada and probably further afield. And we have two great new senior geologists in Gavin Titley and Paul Yago. So to move on to the Joy district is located in what's known in British Columbia as the Tutagon district. But just to take a little step back here, In years gone by, BC, the province of British Columbia, was mainly known as a moderate grade copper gold porphyry province. That was until the deposits such as Red Chris and Galore in the Golden Triangle, which is located in the top right left-hand corner of this slide, were brought forward, and this changed the perspective on BC. There are other great deposits located in this area, British Columbia, known as the Golden Triangle, like Bruce Jack, like KSM, but what they all have in common is they're hosted by 200-million-year-old rocks, which, very simplistically put, wrap round at the top of British Columbia, as shown by this arch blue arrow, and pass down through the Tutagon and our Joy district. So we knew we had the right rocks. The second important thing about this slide is in the past, the Tutagon district was known as a gold-silver vein hosted district. That changed with the discovery, development, and transaction of the Kinvestor South deposit, which was actually discovered and transacted by members of the Amarc team. And the development of that Kinvestor South deposit brought modern-day infrastructure and power into the district. At the time of the discovery of the Kinvestor South porphyry deposit, that changed the perception of the Tutagon. And largely the same team are doing that again in the Tutagon with the discovery of the Great Aurora deposit, which is a very valuable deposit. To the south of us, we have the Kinvestor mining district held by Centerra. And they have also put out a mine plan for continuing the development of the Kinvestor mining district. And also they've invested into Thesis Gold to the north of us, some 24 million. We have brought Freeport-McMoran into this area. And also we have Skeena, who are back, a very good group, who are backing our neighbors, TDG. So the big question now with Aurora, because we believe Aurora is not only the key to unlocking the value of our Joy district in which it is hosted, but the key to unlocking the value and the next stage of exploration development and mining, indeed, in the Tutagon district. So the question is, just as in the Golden Triangle, where Newmont have consolidated many of the big deposits like Tatoga, Red Chris, Galore, Bruce Jack, who is going to come in and consolidate the Tutagon district? So Freeport have funded us to a tune of 35 million. We announced this in May. It was under an accelerated time frame. And at that point, they earned their first 60% interest in the Joy district. At that time, they had a one-time opportunity, which they took, to earn an additional 10% in the Joy by investing a further 75 million. For a total earned interest of 70% and a total investment of 110 million. The budget for this year at Joy has been in excess of $15 million. Now, this is an outline of what our district looks like. It is very extensive and very coherent. It is over about 620 square kilometers, and the extent of the district is shown in the blue outline. You can see here that there are two areas of our district labeled the Brenda and the Pill options. Those are options that were brought into the district by Amarc and Freeport. You can also see where the Aurora deposit is located in the top left-hand corner of the picture here. What is shown on this figure is the IP ground geophysics, and it is the chargeability components. And what the chargeability components show in these bright pinks and reds are sulfide systems. So the district at the moment, in one way, ladies and gentlemen, is all about the exceptional Aurora deposit discovery. But it's not all about, at the same time, the Aurora discovery in our district. And this is what differentiates us, from other explorers. It's not just this exceptional Aurora deposit we have, but what we are developing in other areas of deposit that the Aurora deposit now unlocks the potential of. We have two historical deposits we are working on, the Pine deposit, which you can see labeled there, and also the Brenda historical deposit on the Canicel option. We have two great discoveries, the Canyon discovery and the Twins discovery. And you can see we have other sulfide systems developing, and they are also hosting very intriguing new targets. So here we are, we're zooming into the Northwest Gossan or NWG target that hosts the Aurora deposit. The bright yellow and red lines, those show the area of our 2024 drilling, the 20 discovery drill holes, which covered an area of 0.4 square kilometers. And that drilling is housed inside a sulfide system shown by that dashed white line, which is 4 square kilometers. And we've been out expanding the Aurora discovery this year. And one of the most important things about this slide, as you can see in the bottom of the photograph here, about half a click away from our discovery, there is an access road. And that access road leads down to the Commerce Mining District gate, and so down to the highway. The area is served by good road infrastructure. We have airstrips where you can catch a charter flight into Smithers. We have power into the Commerce Mining District and also at the Commerce Mining District tailings facilities. So good infrastructure in this district. So we're going to zoom into now the Aurora deposit discovery itself. The 20 drill holes we drilled last year, those drill holes are projected to surface, and you can see gold is shown here in yellow and copper is shown in red. We put 20 drill holes in. As soon as we had the discovery drill hole 57, we knew we were onto a deposit. We wanted to develop this deposit. So we stepped out on 600-meter space sections. We actually, at the time, we had to pull off drilling because the snow was arriving. We had an area which was mineralized, highly mineralized, over 5 by 600 meters. And we knew it was open to expansion all the way around. Now, these blue holes that are shown on here, we announced today we've actually put 24 drill holes around the Aurora deposit. They're shown in the blue here. And 23 of those were expansion holes. And only one of them, you can see in the center there, was an infill drill hole. And one of the most important things here is that you can see where we drilled last year was centered on this pink and red, what we call magnetic high. But we have stepped off that high and we've released part of one drill hole, hole 98, you can see down here in the bottom right-hand side of the slide. And that intercepted very good grade gold and copper, and it intersected it about 300 meters away from the drilling in 2024 and off that mag high. So again, we've drilled 24 holes on the Aurora discovery. We've expanded it from 5 to 600 meters to a drilled area of about 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer. It's about just shy of 10,000 meters of drilling. And we'll be getting those drill results out to folks as soon as we can. But just to remind ourselves a little about the Aurora deposit and the drill holes, the discovery drill holes. And just to put these highlights into context, the Commerce South deposit, it was about 218 million tons mined out at 0.6 gold, 0.23 copper. These were very high grades, and this would attracted a lot of people's interest to Aurora and the Joy District when we released them, is we have about 1 to 3 grams per ton gold. We have about 0.4 to 0.8% copper, some interesting silver, for 1 to 3% copper equivalent. These are very significant grades. Another thing that folks liked, as we do, is that mineralization came in the near surface environment. And the mineralization showed really exceptional vertical and lateral continuity. In fact, in all of our results we've put out to date, we've put out sample by sample data so you can see that these high grades are not being carried on spikes of higher grade mineralization, but the mineralization is extremely consistent. This section we're looking at here is through the heart of the discovery, and you can see 2 of our 2025 drill holes indicated there on the right-hand side of the slide. This is a slide on the southern end of our deposit where we have been expanding it this year. Hole 84 on the left-hand side, that was drilled in 2024. And you can see the partial hole we just recently released, hole 98. And you can see that it was a step out of almost 300 meters. And it went into a very attractive gold and copper mineralization. So as I said before, the Joy District is all about Aurora, but it's not all about Aurora, in fact. We have two great discoveries. The Copper Gold Canyon discovery, we've been out drilling this year. We had 4 drill rigs out, up to 3 drill rigs at any one time on Aurora, and another 1 or 2 drill rigs concentrating on these Canyon and Twins discoveries, and one on drilling new deposit targets that were coming through from all of our survey work this year. The other discovery shown here is the very attractive Twins gold copper discovery. This sits in a very large sulfide system as defined by IP chargeability. It's about 6 or 7 square kilometers. We initially put some short drill holes about 1 kilometer spaced into that. Like shown here, an example of that would be hole 20. And this is where we intercepted, say, a couple of 100 meters at 0.11% copper equivalent. Now, that's not going to get too many of you too excited, but as an exploration geologist, in the right rocks with the right mineralization, we know that this could indicate that we could be within a couple of 100 meters of a productive porphyry system. So we stepped back last year about 170 meters. We drilled 51, hole 51 below hole 20, and we came into better mineralization, more attractive mineralization. And we have been out there drilling this discovery along with the canyon, as I say, this year, and those results will be being brought forward as they're received from the laboratory. Now, our example of one of our 2 historical deposits that we also have on this very exceptional high potential Joy District is the Pine deposit. This was an historical deposit. It was really the anchor of the district when we first assembled it and put it together. Now it is a moderate grade gold copper porphyry system. It is sizable. We've expanded it from 900 meters to 1.7 kilometers and to depth. But where we started drilling last year, and unfortunately we didn't have time to get back there this year, we stepped back about 200 meters to the southwest and drilled back towards the deposit. We were looking to expand the deposit and also looking for higher grade feeder structures. Now, we did hit mineralization and expanded the deposit 200 meters approximately to the southwest, and we were just starting to hit that higher grade in 0.44% copper equivalent, 0.7% copper equivalent, and unfortunately, we lost that hole in a fault system. But, you know, there could be a lot more to come out of the historical Pine deposit. And just, ladies and gentlemen, to introduce you here to one of our new targets, this is the Nub deposit target. It is very similar to Aurora. You can see a comparison at the bottom of this slide. It's topographically very similar. It sits in a covered valley, broad-based valley bottom. It's centered on a magnetic eye shown in this purple dashed line, and that sits within a very large sulfide system again, shown by the yellow dashed lines. And we have been out drilling this target this year. And this is just an example of one of the new targets we have been drilling. So there is an enormous amount of potential in the Joy District. And, you know, our strategy at Amarc, it's very straightforward and we feel it's very powerful. And it's also highly focused. Our sole purpose is to discover, develop, and transact the next generation of high-value copper gold mines in our home province of British Columbia. Our partnerships with Freeport and Boliden allow us to scale exploration in a capital-efficient manner. We run highly disciplined and systematic exploration programs. These involve multi-phases of drilling supported by geophysics, geological, and geochemical surveys, and by significant funding. And by doing this across 3 high-potential district-scale assets, we're not betting on a single outcome here. We're actually creating multiple opportunities for transformation value at every single level. And the next major catalyst, which I know you'll all be interested in, are the release of all of our results from this year, and primarily from the Joy District and the Aurora discovery. And we will get those results out to you as soon as we can. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your time today, and to Kin for hosting this conference. And as closing comment, I'd just like to give a shout out to our technical and operations team, who have done a great job again this year and worked very hard across our portfolio of assets. Thank you very much and have a good day.